Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to 101 East Street, Petersham, Massachusetts. Where is Petersham, you might ask? Well, if you look at this picture of the map of Massachusetts, you will see Boston over on the far right. It is truly the heart of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. But if you follow Route 2 out west, you see a prominent body of water in the middle that is actually Boston's reservoir. It's called the Quabbin Reservoir. And Petersham is just located at the northeast corner of the Quabbin Reservoir land. This reservoir is 22 miles long and 11 miles wide, and it really dominates this entire part of the state. And everything is carefully protected so as to preserve the quality of water. Now, Petersham, as you can see here, is not a very busy town. We don't have any really large, significant highways anywhere near it. We have some good roads, state roads, that pass through, and so it's fairly easy to get places, especially using Route 2. 101 East Street is not very far from the center of town. Right beside the Browns Pond, which is part of the Swift River flow, that is the most significant part of the water flow into the Quabbin Reservoir. There are many, but this is the most significant. There's a lot of protected land here to protect this water, and it is dominated by the green, which is Harvard Forest, and the red, which is trustees of the reservation. And there's also a part of Mass Audubon property, the purple, down at the bottom. But there's also many, many large parcels owned by families who have for generations protected carefully the property that they own in Petersham and the surrounding area. We're not the only ones who care about this. The Quabbin Reservoir, the Department of Conservation and Recreation, is the gold land, and that is a dominant factor in the preservation of this land. No wonder the state says 80% of the land in Petersham is permanently protected from development. Now, in this aerial, you can see in the background the waters of the Quabbin Reservoir. They're really not very far away from the town of Petersham itself. Coming up on the left there, approaching the center of the screen, is our beautiful Petersham Center School, which we're very proud of. You can see all the forests. The place really is dominated by forests and trees, probably because a lot of it is protected land that is carefully needed to preserve the water supply. As we sweep to the north a little bit, you'll see the center of town. And some of the grand houses that are along the way, many, many properties that have been here for generations. You're looking at the Unitarian Church in the middle of this picture and the town hall opposing it on the common. And you're traveling down East Street, and there are many wonderful properties here, and some of them a little less, prominent. This is the first reservation property, the trustees of the reservation. You're traveling down East Street. All of a sudden, you will come down to Browns Pond and the property in question here, 101 East Street. Welcome to 101 East Street. This two-story federal-style colonial residence was built in 1802 by Colonel Joseph Brown. It is commonly called the Pond House because it overlooks the pond that is called Brown's Pond after Colonel Joseph Brown. That is an integral part of the flow of water to the Quabbin Reservoir because it is actually a part of the west branch of the Swift River, which is the most significant single contributor to the water flow into the Quabbin Reservoir, although there are many others. As you can see, it is very much a comfortable home. This porch area is the main entryway into the great room that is just to its right. That is a relatively new addition to the original home. The back of the property is 11 acres of conservation forest, abutting hundreds of acres of further conservation forest owned by the trustees of reservation. So it is in a situation that's very well protected. The 4 carriage stalls are actually limited to only 3 for a vehicle because one is a stairway coming in, and then to the left is a very nice workshop space. The property has been well cared for and loved over the years. It hasn't had very many owners. As a matter of fact, the Day family, the owners just prior to the current ones, had it for over 100 years and did many of the massive updates. Oh, that little cottage there, that's called the Honeymoon Cottage. It's a beautiful spot. Now, as you can see, it does indeed overlook a pond. It was a mill pond that was owned and operated by the Browns. The mills are no longer there, but the pond is still there in a beautiful waterfall. And this is just one of the most magnificent locations in Petersham. Now we're going to take you for a tour inside with still pictures. The current owner is a wonderful professor, author, book collector, and art collector, and his home reflects his use of this property. And we have not been able to yet reduce its content to where the rooms are properly presentable. So we're going to use the pictures from prior display of the property 7 years ago, because the vast majority of detail has not altered in any way at all. And this way you can see the actual layout of the house and see what it will be when you gain ownership. We'll start you at this wonderful sitting porch because this is the primary way everyone goes in and out of this property anyway. It's just a great place to sit and listen to the sounds of the waterfall and the nature that surrounds this property. And as you can see with the next picture, it actually brings you directly into the great room, the family gathering space. There's a wonderful, large, fully functional modern fireplace on the left, skylights to give lots and lots of natural light, and a wood stove just over to the right in case you want to burn some of the waste wood from your forest. And that opens directly onto this great-sized kitchen. It's a great layout, wonderful working space, another great gathering space, place for people to sit and join you while you prepare dinner and visit. Very accommodating, well suited to the character of the property while still functioning very well as a modern kitchen. Next is the dining room. This, of course, has its own fireplace because it's in the original part of the house where every significant room has its own fireplace. And above it is a picture of this property painted by Patty Day, the grandmother of the folks who most recently sold the property on behalf of the Day estate 7 years ago. This is a portrait of the property that the family wishes to remain with the property. The fireplace has been restored. Every fireplace has its own flue with a chimney top damper to give you optimal safety and performance. The next picture, the one you see that's a light blue, is the music room. You can just see the curve of a grand piano off to the left. The floors are gorgeous. The light from these big windows is fabulous. And this is in the front left corner of the house. The next picture shows that window with the beautiful arch over it, the triple panes. This is the library. And this is the room perhaps the most altered because this is a wonderful workspace for the current owner. So forgive us for using these old pictures, but we want you to see what this room is before it's well filled. There is, of course, also a fireplace in this room. Now, the front door brings you into the hallway that is a federal-style hallway with a wide federal main stairway with a very gentle rise. It's a very well-preserved example of this kind of architecture and flow for people. As you come upstairs, the hallway is again very large, accommodating of significant pieces of furniture, and you have 3 very well-sized bedrooms, each again with their own fireplace. The first being the one with the blue drapes, the second being one that has a Murphy bed in case there's an overflow, and there you see the modern full bathroom that is in the hallway for most of the bedrooms. And the third bedroom, the one with the blue fireplace, actually has its own bathroom. So that could be used as a master suite very nicely. And the fourth picture with the green quilt in it is the sunniest and brightest of all the bedrooms and was the preferred bedroom of the Day family. Utilities for laundry are upstairs, as seems to be the preferred accommodation. And then that little stairway goes up to the 3rd floor where there is an additional bedroom and half bath, probably by design for the help. The stairway opens up into such a large area, as you can see from the next picture, that there really is a lot of opportunity for a display of some wonderful antiques. And the next picture is the back stairway that provides an opportunity to get down to the kitchen without using the main stairway and perhaps disturbing the family. The 4-bay Carriage addition is really a wonderful space for storage of equipment, toys, cars, whatever your needs might be. This other picture is the back side of the house, the east side of the house, and you can see a grill just outside that kitchen door that is a great opportunity to have your grilling capability right outside the kitchen. The shingled building that you see is what we call the honeymoon cottage. It was simply a spillover space for sleeping when the family gathered in large numbers, and it is currently set up as a workshop, but could be accommodating of whatever you wish. It has electricity, but no heat and no running water. The large green studio building was added by Patty Day back in the early part, maybe the 1920s, to set up, 1930s, to create an art studio for use during the summer months when she had visitors who were fellow artists, so they had space to work. It's a beautiful post and beam structure with great light, with again skylights to the north, which is the preferred lighting for artists, as I understand it, and a beautiful stone fireplace inside. The backside of the property, as you can see, is just an extension of the L of the carriage space, and you see a view of it looking up to the hill just beyond the carriage areas. Utilities are very well upgraded. You have a wonderful Bedera system with a superstore hot water, all very well controlled, as you can see, with the modern plumbing mounted on the planks, and also an alarm system. This property truly is one of the crown jewels of Petersham, which is in itself just a wonderful community that almost looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. And because of the existence of the Quabbin Reservoir and the importance of the integrity of the water supply to Boston, this is an area that is very unlikely to ever be spoiled. So if what you seek is a peaceful, tranquil, nature-filled environment for your home or your country escape, you can't do much better than Petersham.